we're looking at the root shape G here. So this would be at root 3, 5. But now remember, it's not just squanched into the cage here. Alright, it could go in here and still be in the same cage as the GCD cage, which is the tripentatonic 1, 4, 5. Okay? It doesn't, because it has to. It starts on a G shape here, and then the 5's going to go to the root. That's a perfect fourth straight up. We're not at the tuning warp yet. Now it wants to go to a third after that. The third's right there because of the tuning warp. But if I detuned this, it would go, root would go to there, and it would look more like the diagram that we started the lesson with. That's a pattern diagram. Alright, now this one particularly I wanted to just follow the arpeggio there, instead of take this 3 to the 5. So this arpeggio diagram, I believe, does not have any on-string intervals. On-string intervals, whole step, minor third. Okay, it doesn't have half step. It doesn't have any on-string intervals. They're all going string to string. So this will repeat, root 3, 5, root 3, 5. That's how you know you didn't mess up. Root 3, 5, root 3, 5. So these are all root, relative root. So now when we look at D minor, we're looking at the 2 as the kind of the relative root. But it's not relative to the point that D minor would be the relative minor of F. But it's not relative to that. It's just the root relative, a local root, we could call it a local root of that D minor. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So here's 1, here's 3, and here's 5. But I keep the numbers in the key of C, just to keep track of something here. So these are the shapes. You can see it starts as a G shape. You can see that G shape, but that G shape isn't written here because this is 1, 4, 5. That's 1, 4, 5. I'm still getting over a bad cold last night, but my fever broke, so I'm okay. Thanks for your concern. So, the reason why you don't see this is major, 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 but this is minor, because the G is 1 pentatonic scale up from the E shape. So here's root, and here's the D shape, is 1 pentatonic scale up there when we're counting in pentatonics. Ionian, Dorian, pentatonic. Okay, now I just call the F shape similar to the third shape in C. So F shape would be the Dorian right here. I call this shape an E shape, or a G shape in this case. So the 3 is a G minor shape, and the 4 is a G major shape, because they're only a half step. They're in the same box, but it still can be related to a pentatonic scale. And the same thing when you get up to the 7. It's in the E box there. Okay, so it kind of takes on the same shape, kind of. We don't want to get into hang-ups with diminished, half diminished. So the only thing I say about half diminished is it goes across the fretboard. So it's a minor third, an augmented fourth. Okay, and then a minor third that's warped over, so it looks like a major third, but it's not. It's a minor third because of the tuning warp, root going to 3 at that point, and then back to a minor third. Okay, so the wife is home. She came home early. That's good, right? She takes care of the animals. I have to do some chores when I get done here. So this is, this is a good chart here, where we have, she's talking to her birds now. You gotta talk to your birds. So then we divide these fretboards up into the Ionian, Dorian, as we've said before, because they don't share any notes. You see how the yellow is the Ionian and the blue or purple is the Dorian? In any of these boxes, they do not share any notes as far as a triad. Okay, but if I went to Phrygian, it shares two notes with Ionian, the third and the fifth. So that's a good way to map out the arpeggios, just straight all good old arpeggios. Now, the good thing about this particular diagram here, it says it's Dorian and Ionian, root 3, 5, 2, 4, 6. Even added the seventh. I thought I had a little note that I added the seventh there. Even added the seventh is the navy blue. Not navy blue. Navy blue is dark blue, right? It's the blue is the seventh. If you throw the seventh in with the purple stuff, you have a Locrian seventh. Now that's seventh, you guys, what are you talking about? Well, it's the seventh. It's the seventh, but then it has its seventh. That's a Locrian 7. Throw the 7 in with the Dorian, with the purples, and you get an in mode, in the scale, in the key, substitution for, or, way to get that half diminished. But what's more important is now we have our root 3, 5 major there, right? But its neighbor down here is 5 root 3. Its neighbor down there is 3, 5 root. Those are the three inversions. First inversion, second inversion, root. Okay? Now this one, so that's just Dorian. This particular fretboard is just Dorian and Ionian. These are the root, the first and the second inversions for Dorian and Ionian, plus a 7 to get your Locrian. Down here it says first inversion only. Now we're back to all 7 tones, right? Root, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But first inversion only. So you should see some C shapes here. First inversion, not first inversion, second inversion, you'll see your C shapes, right? Remember we talked about second inversion. C shapes start on the 5th there. So you see first inversion. This is a very good chart. So what is first inversion? What's second inversion? What's root? With a little octave there. Okay, so this is a really colorful, and what are the colors? Red is Mixolydian, gray is Lydian, green is Phrygian,